And we're back here. Was that Stoller on the last carry?
Yeah, but there was a 5-yard penalty, I believe, on Bremen. Illegal shift.
And yes, one more of those illegal procedure penalties have just been killing us the last couple of years.
Coach Holmes was really letting the official know what he thought about that penalty, though.
And we're going to have lots of opportunities with that as much motion as our run today. It looks like there's going to be a touchdown here. Dylan Mullen.
That was a great run by Mullen there at the end. He just lowered his shoulder and forced his way into the end zone, ran a defender over there at about the 1 or the 2 yard line.
And I tell you, Dusty, if I'm the defensive coordinator for Culver, I don't like that matchup of an outside linebacker or a cornerback against Dylan Mullen there on the corner. Mullen's going to win that one 9 out of 10 times.
It seems Bremen has seen something in their film. They're running a lot of those sweeps to the edge. I think that they have an advantage on the outside.
So Schlarbon for the PAT for Bremen. Jacob Bennett, the holder. And I say this is one of the great bright spots for the special teams so far this year. Schlarb is 10 for 10, and Bennett does a lot to help out with that. The snap and spot is good. And the kick is not high, but it's through the uprights.
It didn't look pretty, but it got through.
And with 6 minutes and 7 seconds to play here in the first quarter, Bremen takes a 7-0 lead over Culver. And we want to take a short break to thank our sponsors here on BroadcastSport.net. Among the sponsors this week are Bruno's Pizza in Napanee, Koffel Construction, Mapletronics, Fourway.net, and Verizon. And back to live action here. Kickoff return by the Cavaliers. Joel Miller on the tackle for the Lions.
I tell you, Jabo, I don't think Coach Holmes could have drawn it up any better. You know, you force Culver into a punt, and you get the ball and you take it down, and you score. So you stop them, and then you score, and you're up 7-0 halfway through the first quarter. I'm sure that's how they had it drawn up.
Hey, that's about as
during practice.
That's about as good as it gets. So again, Culver in the wing. Steven takes the snap, and he gives it to the first man, who is wrapped up in the backfield. Credit that tackle to Josh Fox. Gets the man right at the line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10 for the Cavaliers.
Looked like they almost had a little trouble with that exchange, like they were fighting over who was going to take it. I thought there might have been a fumble.
And sometimes that's what a good option exchange looks like. You try to confuse the defense, but if you guys don't have that...
Well, if that's what they were going for, they did a good job.
Yeah. Ooh. Nice carry there on 2nd down, picking up first down yardage. Alanius on the carry for the Lions.
And that's the first time that play's really been open there. Culver did a nice job opening that hole off the left side, and Alanius, he hit the hole hard and got picked up about 11 yards there for a first down.
So at the 46-yard line, Culver back to the line. And Stevens is looking across the field here, picking up signals and distributing them. Culver snaps the ball there. The give again is to Alanius, who picks up 2.5 on the carry.
Yeah, same play there. Bremen's a little more there to fill the hole that time.
And Fox on the tackle again for the Lions. 2nd and 7. Again, no huddle for the Cavaliers. Steven looking to the sideline, receiving his signals from Coach Andy Thomas.
Budzinski's over here. He's got a couple of Lions shadowing him now, I see.
And he really has the outside there. But again, the sweep play and a decent cutoff there by Ryan Zelmer on the play. But still to the outside goes the Culver ball carrier.
Yeah, Hansel, I thought they had him stop there at about the line of scrimmage, but he did a nice job with the stiff arm, got out, and picked up a couple extra yards.
And if we have Hansel carrying the ball tonight, I'm going to try as hard as I can to avoid any Zoolander references. I can't promise anything, but I'm going to try real hard. And I wouldn't be surprised if Culver doesn't go back to the left side of the field here, but no, quarterback keeper here. Stevens, the ball carrier, and he takes a good lick from Bobby Cornett with the run support, but picks up the first down on 3rd and short.
Yeah, Bremen was going for the strip there. They came in late and were trying to rip the ball out, but Stevens did a nice job protecting the ball there.
And I'm figuring out it works a whole lot better when you've got your audio source actually plugged in instead of when you put it into the headphone jack. That's going to probably help us here in a minute when we go to our next commercial. But Culver again, no huddle.
Technology works a lot better, yes, when you know how to use it.
Wing formation. And it's Hansel in motion. Isolated out left with Fox. And the give again to Elanius inside. He is met by a horde of Lion defenders there at the 40-yard line. At the bottom of the pile is Ethan Pike on the tackle for Bremen.
Yeah, Bremen did a nice job of shutting that down. At first it looked like that might be a big gain there for the Cavaliers, but the linebackers stepped in there and shut that play down after about 4 yards.
So 2nd and long. Not a lot of change up there for Culver. They're going pretty simple there. I think one of the things that they struggle with is having depth and guys to get in and out. So with his as much as these guys are going to be playing two ways, having a simple offense and not coming on and off the field is going to help them out a little bit. Woo! And wow, nice tackle there by Zach Zimmer, who just upends Elanius on the tackle, bringing up 3rd and 5.
That's a clear example there of getting lower on the tackle.
That is correct. And Eric Nepper with the assist there. Bremen's defense flips sides based on the Culver formation.
Yeah, Culver's keeping Bremen from being able to sub in here by not huddling up.
And the give is to the second man, 33, Bradley Beaver. Beaver's been one of the top ball carriers for Culver so far this season. He led the team in receptions as well 2 weeks ago against Triton. So he's one of those offensive weapons that Stevens has got at his disposal.
Yeah, a little misdirection there. The Lions did a nice job of staying home and not over pursuing. They're going to go for it here again on 4th down.
And 4th and short. Bremen stays in the 5-3, and it looks like Bremen's going to back off a little bit. They were up tight, and Stevens seems to be changing the play, but Coach Thomas wants to take a timeout and talk it over with his kids. So we will be back here in 30 seconds. Thanks for joining us again. We're here at Don Buggy Field, 7-0 Bremen with 2 minutes to play here in the first quarter.
Hey, it's spring, and now couldn't be a better time to visit the fine folks of Kaywood Products, located on South Bend's west side. Family owned for 54 years, Kaywood Products specializes in quality building materials for all of your home improvement needs. No job is too big or too small. Need a new window, door, kitchen, or bath? We install. So visit us at 25785 State Road 2, or give us a call at 574-287-4262.
Back to live action here at Bremen. Stevens' pass goes to Budzinski. And Bennett takes him low, and looks like Pike in there to clean him up, but it's enough for a first down.
Yeah, that was just a simple pitch and catch there with Baczynski, and at 6'6", he's just got to basically fall forward and pick up that 2 yards.
And again, good play calling there by Coach Thomas.
Yeah, I don't know how long Bremen's going to be able to let him have 10 yards of cushion if they're just going to pitch it out there and get 3-4 yards every play.
Whoa, a nice wrap up there. Good defensive stop for the Lions by Alan Lauterbach, who gets in there, and that's his defensive responsibility side. If he's going to step in there and take on the quarterback, and if he's going to do a good job both cutting off the pitch angle and wrapping the guy up, that's an effective way to play the option.
Yeah, that play got blown up before he even could think about pitching that out to the running back, so smart of him just to take the sack there.
So 2nd and 12 coming up for the Cavaliers. Stevens is back to pass. He looks downfield and is complete to Trent Elliott, who is wrapped up by Zelmer, and looks like Fox in there on the stop as well.
Yeah, Bremen came with the outside linebacker blitz there, and he found his receiver wide open. It wasn't the prettiest to pass, but his guy was wide open out there enough that he had plenty of time to reel it in and move downfield for about 7 yards.
And those are some unusual passing routes that come out of this this double wing formation here that Culver runs. So I'm sure there's going to be some adjustments for Bremen's DBs to make over the course of the game.
There's a lot of assignment football here tonight.
Faked handoff, passes downfield, and wow, talk about separation right there. Jacob Bennett loses Baczynski, who catches the ball in the end zone there and puts 6 points on the board for the Cavaliers.
That was a heck of a throw there by Stevens. He was getting pressure, got hit on the play, but he delivered the ball in there, and I don't know how, but Baczynski was wide open in the back of the end zone.
And so Culver will come on to attempt the PAT. And I don't know what the delay is here. Oh, they're looking for the chip. And as we've seen throughout the last couple of years, Stevens is a multifunctional athlete. The name Stevens down in Culver is a lot like Hunt or maybe a
leaper.
Maybe a leaper here in Bremen. All of their good athletes are Stevens is down there, and they always do everything. So he kicks the PAT and ties the score up here. 18 seconds and a little bit more here left in the first quarter, and it's a tie game, 7-7.
Threw the touchdown and then completed the extra point there as well. So showing off his multiple abilities here.
There we go, and we will be back here in just a second. Again, I'm Jesse Bohannon alongside Dusty Kiefer and Jamal Baldwin here from Don Bungie Field in Bremen.
Aren't you getting tired of waiting on the internet? www should not stand for worldwide wait. Fullway.net offers wireless broadband internet service with limited.
Children who weep for love, make her up this birth.
And back to live action. Stevens set to kick off for the Cavaliers. Lion return team on the field. Back deep are Bennett and Stoller. And so we've got a switch up on this as well. New men deep in the return game for the Lions this week. So I guess that's what you do, side. You run into a little bit of trouble the last couple of weeks, and you make some change-ups.
Yeah, I mean, that's the attributes of a good coach, you know,
right.
Trust in your players.
And there it is, paying off. Solid return there by John Stoller, who takes the ball down around the 10, and it looks like he gets almost a 25 or 30-yard return there.
Yeah, he got out to about the 40-yard line there. Solid return, hit his hole hard, and got the ball out near midfield. Good starting position here for the Lions.
And as I said last week, Stoller's a guy that hasn't gotten a lot of playing time based on injuries throughout his career, so it's good to see that here in in his junior season, he's finally getting a chance to get some production, and he's always been capable of doing it. Hopefully he'll be able to put some time in this season. So there it is, Stoller in motion. Fake handoff. The give is to Mullen inside, and he muscles ahead for about 4 yards.
Yeah, Bremen just trying a little misdirection there, seeing how honest the defense is.
And that will be the last play of the first quarter. As the sun is nearly ready to set here at Bungie Field, the Lions are tied 7-7 with Culver. You're listening to Bremen football on BroadcastSport.net.
50 towers throughout St. Joseph. Aren't you getting tired of waiting on the internet? www should not stand for worldwide wait. 4way.net offers wireless broadband internet for 50 towers throughout St. Joseph, Southern Elkhart, Marshall, Kosciuszko, and Fulton counties. Now you too can surf the web like your friends for as little as $49 per month. 4way can deliver the internet at speeds of up to 3 megabytes per second and beyond. Contact 4way.net at 574-277-7720 for an up-to-date status for your area. If you are in an area that you feel may benefit from their service, let them know. Visit their website at www.4way.net.
And 4way for sponsoring Bremen football here on BroadcastSport.net. Again, 7-7 here with the Lions on the offense.
You know, we said in the opener, Jesse, that this game was very even on paper, and so far it's playing out just like that so far.
And one of the ways I thought Bremen might be able to get a bit of an advantage is by speeding up the tempo of the game, using a little bit of their depth against Culver. That's how New Prairie was able to run them down last week and basically bury them on the scoreboard. But Culver's been doing a good job about keeping the pace of the game slow so far. So Cornett in motion for the Lions. Bennett in motion left. The snap is to Slough. The toss is to Eric Nepper. And Nepper gets up for a first down and about 2 more. An interesting looking block there by 53 Tyler Koffel. I don't think I've ever seen a guy do that before. He ran past the guy he was supposed to block a little bit and so kind of leaned backwards to cut him off. So it was effective.
Yeah, you do however you can get it done. It was an effective block, and I like how Nepper ended that. He just lowered his shoulder and finished the run for a first down. He starts in. I bet he's listed at about 5'6", and getting low, it's going to be hard to bring down a Nepper when he's running at full speed like that.
That's correct. And Cornett in motion. The handoff was to Stoller, but the handoff was muffed, and Slough on the recovery. That is one of those rough things about bringing in a new guy who hasn't gotten a lot of carries on Friday night, is that not a lot of repetition in those handoffs. So some of those things you might normally run into on a Game 1 situation, you might see that with Stoller and some of the other guys who are in new positions tonight.
Yeah, we talked about that in the pregame as well, how the Lions have been struggling with turnovers, and luckily they fell on that one before it turned into a disaster.
So 2nd and long for Bremen. And the fake handoff to Stoller. The give is to Mullen. And a good job there by the Culver defense waiting on the handoff. You can see that's a new wrinkle that Coach Holmes added this week as well. And Bremen a little bit rusty on the timing on that play. So here it is 3rd and long. And what do you do here, side? It's you got about 11 yards to pick up, and you're sitting at the 50.
Well, if I was coaching, I'd probably look towards Ethan Pike, 6'4" wide receiver, probably the best playmaker here in a long yardage situation. But I assume Culver will be looking for that as well, so they may run a screen pass, something like that.
Yeah. So Bremen in spread formation, Nepper in motion. And we've got a penalty flag up.
It's going to make it a bit more challenging here on 3rd down, it looks like.
Illegal procedure against the Lions, and so we're going to go from 3rd and long to 3rd and very long.
I don't know how many plays he has in the old playbook for 3rd and 16, but we'll find out, I guess.
Well, I think that's one of the things we've seen over the last couple of years is that that's not a big play for Bremen. We've already gotten a 40-yard pass play so far tonight, so they've got it. It's just a matter of whether they're going to connect on it or not, and whether the Lions are going to give them the time to throw the ball. Nebben, the snap is to Slough. In shotgun, another flag. And looks like another now a false start penalty against the Lions. And now you're starting to dig yourself a hole that you really wish you weren't in.
Yeah, these are just mental mistakes. You know what the snap count's going to be, and you're still jumping off sides because you're looking at the blitz coming from the outside probably. And now you're looking at 3rd and 21, and this may just be a situation where you try not just turn it over and run a draw play or maybe a screen pass and hope somebody breaks tackle and gets into the open field.
Now, I've always been a fan of a quick kick on 3rd and extremely long side, but I don't know that that's in Bob
I think
Owens'
that
playbook.
Coach Holmes he's going to need a timeout.
Wow. And I don't think Coach Holmes is going to be too happy right now. Bremen's offense kind of stalling here on the drive. 7-7, Bremen tied with Culver. 9 minutes, 34 seconds to go here in the first half. You're listening to Bremen Lion Football on BroadcastSport.net.
Mapletronics Computers is the place to find great computers, great service, and really great people. Stop by their showroom located at 2116 West Wilden Avenue in Goshen. See what's new in home and office computing. Their friendly service team is there to help with all of your computer repairs, whether you need a tune-up or a complete format and reinstall. New computers, high-speed DSL, Verizon Air cards, they've got it all. Mapletronics is your hometown store for computers and more. Give them a call at 534-2830 or visit their website at www.mapletronics.com.
Back to live action here from Don Bungie Field. Bremen offense, 3rd and long. The snap is to Slough, draw play, and the pass is to Nepper, and overthrown just a little bit there. Brings up 4th and long for the Lions.
He had a little bit of an open there set up. They went with the screen pass like we were saying they may, and Culver, they weren't really ready to shut it down, but they got lucky that he dropped that pass there.
And it looks like Bremen is set to punt here. Baker to punt. And the fair catch by the Culver return man. Elliott was the return man, and Culver will take over. Down around the 30-yard line, the 29 actually.
Well, we'll see here if the Bremen defense does a little bit better job. They kind of let Culver go through them pretty easily last time. We'll see if they've made an adjustment. I would think they'd want to cover Baczynski a little bit more this time. They've been giving him quite a cushion. Even so, he got behind him the last touchdown pass.
And a rough matchup there for Jacob Bennett, who's covering down here on the near side with Baczynski. Bennett is giving up about 7 inches. And when you extend those arms up there as well, it's probably more around 9 or 10. So that's not a fun assignment. I'm guessing they think he's the quickest guy on the team that's going to be able to stay with him at least. And I guess he'll get the test of his season probably tonight. Ooh, nice cleanup block there by Zach Zimmer.
Yeah, there's a flag on that play.
The carrier was Elanius. It's an interesting time of the play for it to come in. That's a holding call against the Cavaliers. And I'm guessing Bremen's going to take that. That'll be a spot foul and 10 yards from the spot.
That's going to help the Lions out a little bit there. Move them back into a 2nd and long situation.
So the short gain is negated. And that'll bring up 2nd down. And looks like about 16 yards. Culver back to their wing formation. Stevens under center, takes the snap, looks back, and the man he was expecting was not there. So
Yeah, Bremen came with an aggressive play call there, and they sent the blitz, and they had about 3 guys there in the backfield to tackle him, and didn't look like he had much of a chance there other than just protect the football.
Well, and I'm going to credit that sack to the running back who it was that was supposed to be there to take the handoff, because that's why that play got blown up. Good job of Bremen taking advantage, but that's an unforced error right there for the Culver offense. And maybe it was Stevens. Maybe he turned the wrong direction, but that was definitely...
Either way, it's 3rd and 20 now.
And Stevens back to pass, looks downfield. The ball is tipped and incomplete, so brings up 4th down.
Yeah, he was looking for Jacob Pierce there on that play. I was surprised they weren't going to number 26, but wasn't going to get much yardage anyway. They were playing it safe.
And so with 4th and just about 20 yards to play,
Bremen should get really good field position here, I think.
And the snap is high, almost over the man's head, and a dead punt there. Culver down to cover, and the man touches the ball down around the 41-yard line. Prince punts down to the 46, so
Bremen starting in their own territory here.
Net punt yardage, about 25 yards there for Culver on that exchange. And, yeah, as you said, Dusty, great field position there for the Lions. So, with that, we're going to take another short break here and thank one of our sponsors, Bruno's Pizza in Napanee.
I'm a lover of the pizza all of the time. I'm a lover of the pizza. That's what I'm saying.
And Bruno's Pizza is open tonight in Napanee. Wow. And they promise they will not fumble your pizza on the way to the door. Actually, I don't know if they do delivery there or not.
I believe they do. They used to, at least. You should know. You live right across the street.
Well, I didn't have to have them delivered because I could just
true.
walk right across the street and get it. So I will say that I've been eating Bruno's Pizza since I was a little kid growing up on the west side of South Bend. I used to go to their Prairie Street location there, and nobody in Michiana makes a better pie than Bruno's for thick crust.
Well,
thick crust.
Yeah, true. But back to the action here.
So Stevens play action pass and good pressure there. Wow, nice job there. The combination of Joel Miller, who caused the initial pressure, and Dylan Mullen, who cleaned up the quarterback, and there wasn't a whole lot Stevens could do right there.
Yeah, I'm going to credit the defensive backs there for that sack. He was looking downfield, nobody was open. And the linebackers cleaned up there in the backfield for a huge loss there for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, loss of about 11 yards, and usually don't get a quarterback as good as Stevens to lose those kind of yards on a sack. So nice job there by Miller, the nose tackle, and Mullen at defensive end. And it's a trick play, looking downfield, and this is going to be a touchdown. Budzinski had beaten Bennett and catches the ball around the 40, picks up the rest of it on yards after the catch, and that'll be his second touchdown on the night.
Yeah, somebody got cheated up on their assignment there, got a little too excited to make the tackle and forgot that he could still throw the ball downfield.
Right. And that's one of those tough things. You get over-aggressive at one of those defensive back positions, and you give a guy half a second like that, and he's gone. So right now the score 13-7, 6 minutes, 45 seconds to play here in the second quarter, and Stevens on to attempt the PAT. And the kick is up, and it's good. So it's 14-14. You're listening to Bremen Lion Football on BroadcastSport.net. This timeout is brought to you by Koffel Construction. I want to thank Koffel Construction for sponsoring Bremen football, as they have been all season. And I know they'll take real good care of you, whether you're in Bremen or whether you're watching from Culver. They'll be happy to take care of all your construction needs. So.
Well, this is going to be an important moment in this game, I think, Jesse. Bremen just turned the ball over and you give up a big play score. You got to keep from being deflated after this and come back and just run your offense, just run the fundamentals.
And I think I did announce that score wrong. They had put up the touchdown on the wrong side of the board, so right now it's 7 Bremen, 14 for Culver. So the Lions trail by a touchdown here about midway through the second quarter. And Stoller has the ball, looking upfield for the Lions, and was just sort of waiting for something to open up, and nothing doing. He gets the ball up around the 24-yard line before he's cut off.
Yeah, Culver did a nice job with that directional kick, kicked him over into the corner, and then did a nice job of not letting him break contain as he tried to come across the field there.
So now Slough will take charge of his offense, and not a lot of passing game tonight. A little bit different than what I was expecting, Dusty. Bremen's been passing the ball just under 41% of the time so far this season, and not a lot of passing attempts tonight for the Lions.
Well, I wondered if Coach Holmes would be a little less aggressive with the turnovers from last week. He'd get a little more conservative.
And the run is to Nepper, who crosses the 30. Pickup of about 6 yards on first down. And that's exactly what you want to do on first down, Dusty, is you get yourself into a sack. You open up the playbook, have a lot of options from here. As a lineman, that was always one of the things that I loved is getting that big first down run. So now you can come out and you can do just about whatever you want to here. This is almost a throwaway play.
Yeah, you can open up the playbook pretty wide here on 2nd and 3.
So Cornett in motion. The Culver defense flips there. And Stoller gives again to Nepper, who turns sideways for an extra couple yards at the end there and picks up the first down. Now, here's what I'm looking at, Dusty. You see how when Bremen sent that man into motion, Culver's defense completely flipped. Bremen can snap the ball while that man's in motion if they want to. Yep. So I'm saying I'm coming back the next time, and I'm doing a goose sneak or something like that while those guys are moving. Let's get 7-8 yards cheap.
Well, we'll see if Coach Holmes or any of the Bremen coaches see that same movement as you do. Seems like Eric Nepper seems to be the guy to run in between the tackles so far.
And play action pass there. The fake is to Nepper. Slough looking downfield, but nothing doing. And he slips past a couple of defenders and gains about a yard. And that's one of the things that we noticed last week as well, is that even though he's got more of a prototypical quarterback body and he's got a good pocket presence about him usually, Slough's not bad at eluding the rush as well.
Yeah, he did a nice job there of improvising. Didn't get much on the play, but it looked like he may lose 3 or 4 yards, so keeps it from being 2nd and 14 or 15 there.
And so 5 minutes to play here in the second quarter. The Lions trail Culver 14-7. We've got Twins right stacked, and Cornett is in motion. The defense, again, you see they keep moving when we're sending Cornett in motion. And there's Bennett in motion, but the flip is to Dylan Mullen, who gets to the outside, and boy, he is trucking. Man, like I said, I do not want to be number 12, Chris Zahner right there, the 5'11", 140-pound cornerback there, who had to stop Dylan Mullen, who was every bit of a beast, not just at defensive end, but running at fullback there as well. So nice pitch there to Mullen.
Yeah, Mullen did a nice job. He ran through an arm tackle there at the line of scrimmage, and he trucked right there at the end. He was not going to go out of bounds. He was going to make somebody pay the price there for taking him down.
There you go. And so that brings up the first down for the Lions across the 50-yard line. Again, it's Cornett in motion, and Culver continues to flip-flop. The give there inside is to Nepper, following the block of, who was his lead blocker there? Mullen, the lead blocker. And about 4 yards there for Nepper on first down.
Nepper picked up a sneaky 4 yards there. He kind of just flowed in behind the line there, and it didn't look like much was there, but he did manage to gain 4 yards on first down.
There you go, and that is one benefit about being 5'6", is you get to hide behind your fullback. And I know Eric Nepper's a smart player. He'll take advantage of everything he can out there. So the Lions in I formation. Down the field, and the pass is broken up there. Good job by Ethan Pike coming in and keeping the pass from being intercepted.
Yeah, Ethan looked like he was more the defender there. That was an ill-advised pass. Looked like he thought he was going there from the time the ball was snapped.
And that was just a good play there by the left tackle for Culver. That's 78, Tyler Lowry did a good job of getting his hands up and forcing Slough to throw that pass maybe a little higher than he had wanted to. So we've got split backs, Mullen and Nepper. Slough under center takes the pass, and the pitch is to Nepper. He's got a lead blocker there is Kaufel, and Nepper picks up about 3 yards.
It looked like that play was going to get more when he tossed it out there, but Culver closed that left side off pretty quickly. It's 4th and short here. I'll see what Bremen decides to do here at about the 3-minute mark.
Yeah, this is a no-brainer right here. You've got 3 minutes to play in the half, and you've got 4th and about 3 yards to go. Inside the 30, you've got to pick this one up. So Slough comes running in from the sidelines, and it looks like someone's taking a timeout. The timeout is to Bremen. So 3 minutes to play here in the first half. Culver 14, Bremen 7 from Bungie Field. I'm Jesse Bohannon with Dusty Kiefer. We'll be right back to Bremen football on BroadcastSport.net.
Introducing the new Share Everything plan. Unlimited talk, unlimited text, and a single pool of shareable data. It's the plan that revolves around you. And now get $100 off select Motorola 4G LTE smartphones like the Droid Razr. Now only $99.99 after $50 mail-in rebate debit card and $50 instant savings. Only from Verizon. And perfect for back to school. Visit any Verizon store, VerizonWireless.com/sale, or call 1-800-256-4646. Requires new 2-year activation. Upgrade, early termination, and other fees may apply. Coverage details at VerizonWireless.com/bestnetwork.
Back to live action here from Bungie Field. The Lions offense on the field, and it's Bennett in motion. Fake the pitch, and back to, back to Bobby Cornett, who, if he had 2 functional hands, would have pulled that pass in.
Yeah, that club on his right hand there didn't help him out any. He was wide open. It was a good play call.
And I think maybe the thought is that the Culver defenders wouldn't take a one-armed man seriously out there, and they thought that the chance of him getting left alone was worth taking to throw to him on 4th down. I don't know if I ask a guy to catch that ball with one hand on 4th down, but
I don't know. Maybe they've run that play in practice. I don't know. It was open. It was there, but it's the execution that matters.
And the pass was right on target, and he got one hand and the club on the ball, but the turnover on downs goes to Culver, and the pitch, there is no pitch, actually. Good job there.
He got hit before he could pitch it.
Yeah. Good job there by Alan Lauterbach, the 6'1", 196-pound sophomore. So one of the great things about looking at things this season so far, Dusty, is that not only do you have the 20 juniors on this team that are playing a lot of time, but you've also got some quality sophomores who are coming in and making an impact as well. So the future is definitely bright here in Bremen. And the handoff goes to Preston Hansel.
Yeah, there's a big hole there off the right side.
And he picked that up out there. There, the option starting to to make a little sense for Culver now. They've gotten a couple of good runs out of it. And again, right back to the line of scrimmage. And we've got to stop and play. The officials have something that they don't like. Something's wrong with the scoreboard up there.
The clock was stopped, I believe.
So right now it says 2 minutes and 12. We'll see if that changes. Culver looking at a 2-minute drill here to end the half, with the Lions trailing 14-7. Cavaliers with the ball at the Bremen 48-yard line, and it's been a good night so far for Culver receiver Mr. Budzinski. He's gotten 2 touchdown passes and a couple other nice pickups as well, and what a hard matchup he's proven to be so far tonight.
He's proven to be the real deal. He's provided the big play spark for the Cavaliers.
And nice pressure there by Lauterbach. Quickness, being able to run down Mr. Stevens there and force him to throw the ball away at the feet of one of his receivers. So brings up 2nd and long for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, Lauterbach's, he's been living in that backfield here for the past couple plays. They may want to think about double teaming him.
And I have a score coming in from Jimtown. New Prairie is up 6-0 on the Jimmies. So that right there, the battle for the Northern States Championship, probably. And there the ball goes to Jacob Pierce. Jacob Bennett on the tackle, brings up 3rd and long for Culver. And I think in this kind of a situation, if Bremen can hold Culver to an incomplete or stop him for a loss here on a carry, this might be a position where they'd have to punt the ball away and give Bremen an opportunity to do something with it.
Yeah,
here
I think they're going
to
punt if they don't get it with 1.5 minutes left here in the half.
So this is an important play for the Lions defense here. Man in motion for handoff is inside. And the ball carrier is Elanius, who picks up the first down and keeps the clock moving and the chains moving for Culver. So here we are, situation here, Dusty. If Bremen gives up a touchdown on this drive, they're going to go into half down 2 scores. And with not being able to move the ball or hold on to it too much here in the first half, that doesn't give good prospects for what can happen.
You don't want to let this game get away in the first half.
And oh my goodness. Wow. And a wicked collision down there between 2 of the Bremen defensive backs. And the Stevens pass to Elliott is good for about 40, or actually, yeah, about 40 yards for the touchdown. And the score now stands 20 for Culver and 7 for Bremen. 1 minute, 10 seconds to go here in the first half.
He hit that juke button there. He juked somebody out of their jock right there. They had him and just let him get away.
Yeah, that was not pretty. I haven't seen a collision like that from some defensive backs in quite some time. So here's Stevens on to kick the PAT. And it is deflected.
It still made it over the
bar.
bar.
Still made it. Wow. That's a good kick that can get tipped that well and still be complete. So nice job there for Stevens. And now the score, 21-7. Culver leads Bremen here at Bungie Field.
I'm in love with the pizza all of the time. I'm in love with the pizza. That's what I'm saying.
Again, Bruno's Pizza in Napanee. It says Go Lions and encourages you to give them a call tonight if you'd like to have a pizza to pick up or be delivered there in Napanee. Again, who I think has got the best thick crust pizza here in Michiana. You know what? I'm going to say it. I like them better than the Peel. I'm just saying. That's me.
You better not announce that too loud down below us here. Jesse is a connoisseur of different kinds of pizza
That's
and local
true.
pizza joints. So
I love the Peel and I love Bruno's. But
you're quite the politician there, Jesse. Quite the politician.
So Culver out to kick off, and Bremen's got quite the challenge to go here. Down 2 touchdowns with a minute to go here in the first half. Really important to put some points on the board right now for the Lions.
Yeah, I don't think we've scored. Have we scored 21 points since the opener against Plymouth? Our offense has kind of begun to stagnate here the last few weeks. So I look for some kind of trick play or something to try to just get something going here.
And the squib kick. Goes to Ram De Palma, the son of one of my former mentors from back in the playing days. So it's
a familiar name to the Long Green Line.
That's one of those things that makes you realize you're starting to get old. Is when your former high school teammates have guys that are playing on the varsity on Friday nights. That's yeah. But the Bremen offense out on the field. Pike on the far side, Bennett on the near, split backs, Cornett in motion. And the flip goes to Mullen, who picks up the first down and more.
That was a nice run there by Mullen, and I really like how the blocker missed his block and he avoided the temptation. Sometimes you want to just make your block anyhow and you end up getting a penalty shoving the guy in the back, but I saw him refrain, and Mullen ended up doing it himself, getting about 15 yards there.
Yeah, sometimes you don't have to block a guy if he'll get far enough out of position. And Bennett with the reception, ducks out of bounds to stop the clock. 46 seconds to play here. Yeah, that was always one of the best compliments, when you blocked the dude so good that he started dropping into pass coverage after 3 quarters. But
or they just tell you, I'll let you block me if you don't hit me so hard.
Right.
I've heard that from one of my friends as well.
Well, that's how you know you're playing Bremen football, is when you're you're in the playoffs and you're playing against somebody from out of the area and they just kind of roll over for you because they don't want to get hit anymore.
Well, Bremen, we got a chance here. We're inside the 40-yard line with 40 seconds left.
Second and short. Slough takes the snap,
and
it's
here we got a trick play.
Flick a reverse pass here.
Oh, he got nailed as he hit it.
And it looks like the defender just blew right past the protection man there and put a good hit there on Slough. So you kind of hope you get a little more protection than that on a trick play, which is going to bring up 3rd and short for Bremen.
Yeah, that's that old trick play. Bremen's almost ran it too often. I think people are almost getting used to it and expecting it.
Well, it's the first time I've seen it this season, so I don't know unless
maybe not.
Unless you've been around this conference for 15 or 20 years, I don't know that you're expecting that. But
I did see it a couple times last year when I came out to some of these games.
And the pitch is to Mullen, who picks up the first down and gets out of bounds. Looking like Jim Brown there on the run.
I don't think Jim Brown would have went out of bounds there, but he had to.
Well, Jim Brown's always went out of bounds.
Okay.
He never got tackled. That's at least my dad told me that. I never got to see him play.
It
myself,
might be a myth. I don't know.
But 35 seconds to play here in the first half.
That's been the bread and butter play so far for the Lions. Just that quick pitch out to the side and let Mullen beat his defensive end or the outside linebacker to the edge.
So Bremen on the 2-minute drill, coming up on 30 seconds. The fake handoff inside, and plenty of time for Slough. Takes the one-on-one matchup there with Pike, and just not able to bring it down. Again, I think that ball was a little bit underthrown, and not as much sauce on that as you might like. So brings up 2nd down and long. Yeah, 28 seconds.
Yeah, they were just trying to see if Pike could out-jump the defensive back there, and I think he had his hands on it, but just couldn't bring it in. The defensive back was in position and made a nice play, so you give credit to the Culver DB there.
I think it took so long for the ball to get there, he mistimed his jump.
It was a little bit of a looping throw there.
So Slough in shotgun takes the snap and looks downfield. The pass is to Pike, complete for the touchdown.
Wow, I mean, that was a great throw there, Jesse. It was not a wide open pass. He had his man in between the zone, it looked like. It was a well-covered pass by the defense there, but Slough put it right on the money.
So that's the kind of throw that we saw from Kai Slough during the first game of the year against Plymouth. And hopefully, maybe that's a sign of things to come here in the second half. So Bremen back within striking distance, and that's how you run the 2-minute offense right there. Maybe leaving a little more time on the scoreboard than you might like, but 20 seconds, I think Culver probably should be happy to go to halftime with a lead.
Yeah, when you're down by 2 touchdowns, I don't think you can get too picky on when you score.
Wow. And broken play there.
Yeah, bad snap it looked like.
And so you thought you were within a score, and now you need a 2-point conversion the next time you get the ball in order to tie it up. But here it is. Bremen 13, Culver 21 with 20 seconds here to go in the second half. You're listening to Bremen Lion Football on BroadcastSport.net.
Mapletronics Computers is the place to find great computers, great service, and really great people. Stop by their showroom located at 2116 West Wilden Avenue in Goshen and see what's new in home and office computing. Give them a call at 534-2830 or visit their website at www.mapletronics.com. Are you a high school or middle school athlete looking to separate yourself from the pack? If you need that extra push to achieve your athletic goals, give Performance One a try. Performance One was created to take athletes to the next level, both mentally and physically. Our innovative and cutting-edge training methods are designed to challenge athletes and push them to achieve their peak performance. With both private and group training sessions, we can help take your game to the next level. Visit our website at www.p1training.com. That's www.p1training.com.
And thank you to Performance One again for sponsoring us, as well as the good folks at Mapletronics. Timeout for Bremen as they want to take a little break here and make sure they've got things in order, which I think is a good way to use this. You can't take that timeout to the second half, Dusty. And the last thing you want to do here under 15 seconds to play in the first half is to give up a cheap touchdown on a trick play or to have a blown assignment.
Yeah,
so
Culver's shown that they're aggressive on their offense. I'm not sure that they're just going to sit on this and knee it out.
And I keep hearing the PA announcer here talk about wings, etc. And my experience has been that there's usually hot wings in the press box at some point. So we may have to, we're stuck out all the way here at the second level. I can't see downstairs, but I might have to venture down there at halftime and make sure there's not any hot wings sitting around, because I certainly enjoyed them last week over at Triton. And you know what would be really awesome is some wings, etc. wings
and Bruno's
Pizza. I think that would be the way to go. So here we go. Culver comes to the line, 1st and 10. 14.4 seconds to play here in the second quarter.
It looks like they are going to take a knee.
And that'll be it.
They seem content with the lead here on the road. So Bremen got back on the board, kept this close here going into halftime. So I expect Coach Holmes to make a couple adjustments here, maybe cut down those big plays that were really hurting us.
Yep, and so we're looking as the Lions head off the field. There's the Bremen B there, and Bremen tradition looking had a bounce back last year, looking to see if we can't pull out something here with the next 24 minutes to play. But we'll take a little break here for halftime. For Dusty Kiefer and Jamal Baldwin, I'm Jesse Bohannon. This is BroadcastSport.net.
This time we're going to introduce the Bremen.
right now, the PA announcer here at Bremen announcing the Bremen Middle School programs. These are the 7th graders here. And this is the upcoming future for Bremen football. Glad to salute the youngest member of the extended Bohannon family, who's got that Bremen uniform on. Down here, about to step forward, is 85 Dominic Lopez, my nephew. So glad to congratulate him on the season they're having so far, and all of the future Lions coming up here over the next few years. So the future of Bremen football is down here. And there are a few things more important than getting them started and supporting them at this age, because, you know, if you don't have 30 or 35 at the 7th grade level, you're not going to have 15 or 17 when they're seniors. So want to thank Jay Leeper, Jeff Grove, and his staff there at the 7th grade program. It was a pleasure getting to coach alongside of them for a couple of seasons, and glad to see that they're continuing to get things done there at the middle school program. So Ben Heaney is helping them out, as well as Ram De Palma, Larry Martin, Nathan Miller, Dave Lunder, and Steve Zelmer. So those guys down there, they don't get paid much. I don't know if they get paid at all down at that level, but they obviously love Bremen football and they love the kids. So thanks to those guys for putting in the long hours and helping the future be bright. So here we are, broadcasting live from Don J. Bungie Field in Bremen. This is Jesse Bohannon alongside Dusty Kiefer. It's halftime. The Lions trail 13-21 to the Cavaliers. And we're going to check some scores coming in from around the area. Right now, Woodland leads Prairie Heights 29-0 in the second quarter. It's Concord 21-7 over Goshen. Jimtown leads New Prairie in the second quarter 7-6. John Glenn and Triton are reporting scoreless in the first quarter. And also scoreless from Knox, the LaVille-Knox game in the first quarter. Northwood is up 14-0 over Wabasee early. And Plymouth leads Elkhart Memorial 12-0. Memorial still unable to score a touchdown this point in the season. Warsaw up 14-7 over Northridge. So those are a few of the scores from around the area. And Dusty, what do you think so far of what we've seen out on the field?
Well, I mean, we talked about in the opening that it was going to be a pretty even game, and it's turned out to be pretty much that. I was thinking about what I would do if I was Coach Holmes to adjust here at halftime, and really the Lions have done pretty well on defense. I mean, they still giving up 21 points, but it's like they'll stop them for 2 plays and then give up maybe a 20-yarder, and then they'll stop them for 2 plays, and they'll hit a 40-yard touchdown pass. So it's just been Culver's been living by the big play, and if Bremen can shut that down a little bit, we may see a different result. If they can't, then Culver's going to put up a lot of points here, and it may turn into a shootout.
Yeah. Speaking of living on the big play, the Penn Kingsmen, and I'm hoping this is right because it looks like they're up right now 42-0 over Clay in the second quarter.
Wow. That one's one that you might as well just get back on the bus at halftime and go home while your guys are not injured. If you're Clay there.
Yeah, I don't know what you do there. I don't even know if there's a way to get a moral victory in the second half when you're down like that.
Well, I was on a basketball team back in the 90s. We were behind like 36-6 at halftime, and it's just about having some pride, coming out in the second half and really playing like giving some effort. I don't know, but it could get kind of ugly. I assume Penn's going to put in their JV for the second half.
Yeah. Some other scores coming in from around the area. Angola in the second quarter is up 20-0 on Churubusco. Central leads Riley 20-0 at halftime. Shootout between Fairfield and Eastside. The Falcons are up over the Blazers. Fairfield leading Eastside 23-21. And Fremont is up on Central Noble 26-12. Fort Wayne North and Mishawaka are scoreless in the first quarter. And Lakeland leads West Noble 44-0. Yeah, confirmation of that Penn score, 42-0 over Clay in the second quarter. St. Joe leads Adams 14-7. Washington 26, Marion 15. And Jimtown 14, New Prairie 7 is what we're seeing coming in from out there in Rolling Prairie. So, interesting game. I know there's got to be a lot of hard hitting and solid running, probably a lot of good defense going on in that game. So, while we're at halftime, might not be a bad time to hop over to that New Prairie or Jimtown channel that we have here on broadcastsport.net and see what's going on in live action. We've still got about 5.5 minutes here to go before the end of halftime. So if you want to check those out, you're not going to hurt our feelings. We'll be back here in a few minutes. So. Got a couple of interesting facts on Culver that you guys might not know. Andy Thomas tonight is playing he's in his 7th year here at Culver. He's 36-36 heading into the game tonight. So if Culver wins tonight, he'll have a winning record as the head coach there of the Cavaliers. And if they lose tonight, he'll have a losing record so far.
Coach Thomas he's done a nice job. Culver has played us real tough the last few years, beating us. a couple years ago a few times. Last year, even though we were undefeated, I know it came down right to the end down there at Culver. So they've been a tough win, even here when we've had strong teams the past couple years.
Here's something that this is the one that's going to blow your mind, okay? Before Coach Thomas came to Culver, over the 4 years before he arrived, Culver was 3-37.
Not very good.
The last 3 seasons under Coach Thomas, the Cavs were 7-5, 8-4, and 8-5. And he has a career record head-to-head against Bremen. You won't guess what he's coached 6 games against Bremen. You want to guess what his record is?
4-2.
He's 5-1.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I stand corrected. Not only are they a hard beat, they have beaten us every time but one.
So head-to-head with the Lions, he has been more successful than any other coach in the NSC. He has more wins and a better winning percentage against Bremen than does Justin Begonia at John Glenn, who's been there for 11 years, and more wins and a better winning percentage than Coach Campbell at Jimtown.
Well, yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I thought that they'd done pretty well, but to only have lost once in the last 6 years kind of surprises me.
Yeah, heading into the season here, Culver had been the last NSC team to beat Bremen before the beginning of this season. So congratulations to Coach Thomas and the great program he's putting together over there at Culver. Let's see. This is the 25th meeting between Bremen and Culver. Bremen leads the series 18-6. So Coach Thomas's 5 wins against Bremen are 5 of the 6 wins Culver has ever gotten against the Lions. So
yeah, he's done a nice job turning around the Cavalier program.
Yeah. Wonder if he'd like to be an assistant coach here at Bremen.
Maybe you can go talk to him afterwards, get a post-game interview.
I don't think he'd take that gig, but couple of notes for Bremen. Doing without 3 players tonight who would have been key roles on this Bremen team. Reed Zelmer, of course, the number 1 running back, went down in week 2. Actually went down about 15 seconds into the second game of the season with a broken collarbone. He's had some surgical procedures done over the last couple of weeks. Don't know when he's going to be back, if at all, this season. Caleb Koffel, the left tackle and sometimes defensive lineman, went out during the New Prairie game 2 weeks ago with a spiral fracture in his ankle. I'm personally hoping and praying that he'll be back for the playoffs, but people are talking about wrestling season with him. So
yeah, spiral fractures, they take a while to heal, from my understanding.
Yeah. Of course, Bobby Cornett, starting safety and tight end, he's playing, but as you see, he had a play that probably could have been a touchdown earlier tonight if he had 2 hands instead of a big glob of plaster of Paris wrapped around his hand.
Yeah, I'll give him credit for being out there. I know if I had a broken wrist, I would probably be as far away from contact right now, but then again, I wasn't a football player, so.
And then we're missing one other player as well. Not only is Reed Zelmer out, but Ryan Zelmer, you've noticed that number 5 has been conspicuously absent tonight from the Lion passing game. And word is that he's just got some kind of a bug that's kept him from being able to play tonight. So, hurting.
Yeah, the Lions are definitely shorthanded, and it's tough when you're kind of in a rebuilding year. And I know that Coach Holmes wouldn't want to call it rebuilding, but after losing all the seniors from last year's regional championship team, they're definitely, as you say, a lot of young kids out there building towards the future. And when you lose some of your starters, you're playing kids that haven't been in any action. So. But they've done a nice job here so far tonight.
Right.
They're definitely in this game. Only 1 score down, so we'll see what kind of adjustments Coach Holmes has made and what the Lions can do here in the last 24 minutes.
So Bremen comes back onto the field. The Lions in their green jerseys and white pants with the green socks, the white helmets with the 6-shaped B on them, back on the field. And then Culver in their white tops and black pants, white socks with black helmets, coming back on the south side of the field there. And that's the end of halftime. And I managed to talk all the way through here, and I am letting my wings get cold. This is really bad. So, again, I'm Jesse Bohannon here in the press box high atop Beautiful Don J. Bungie Field here. Bremen versus Culver in this Northern States Conference matchup. Alongside of me is Dusty Side Kiefer, and so if you hear me talk about Side here in the second half, it's just instinct. I normally that's normally what we call him when we're hanging out. And again, with us on the camera tonight is Jamal Baldwin, who is a senior at the Crossing in South Bend, the school where I'm privileged to get to teach. And he's here working on his broadcasting internship with us. And he's one of our top leaders at that campus, and we're glad to have him along with us tonight. Halftime score from Mishawaka. Fort Wayne North leads the Cavemen 21-0. Looking to see if any of these have changed. Washington 26, Marion 15.
The one that stands out to me, Jesse, is John Glenn and Triton tied at 0.
Yeah, that's still looking like it's a first quarter score, so I'm wondering if that's just showing up at 0 because we haven't had anything reported on that yet.
Late getting that one in.
But not a lot of surprises out there yet. I'm going to be interested to see the replay of that Jimtown and New Prairie game tonight. Again, we're talking about the impact that Coach Thomas has had arriving here at Culver, but I don't know if I've ever seen a coach make more of a impact in a shorter amount of time than Coach Russ Knapke. Hold on, Knapke. I'm confusing him with the guy that was coaching over at Wheeler last year. I'm trying to. That's bad.
That was last season, Jesse. You got to catch up to 2012 here.
Radke, that's it. Yes, they're both very close, and I'll have
one syllable. Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm still my head's still spinning from that second half they put on us 2 weeks ago, but just want to congratulate them about the way their program seems to have just turned in the right direction almost overnight when he got there. So again, yet another score or another proof of how much of a difference good coaching makes in a high school football program. And the Jimmies just got on the board again against New Prairie, so now it is 21-6 in the second quarter. So for all intents and purposes, they're up 3 scores right now.
Yeah, they're going to be coming here to Bungie Field in a couple weeks. The Lions better really be ready for that one. They look like they got a strong team this year. I know they blew out Northwood in the opening week, I think 28-0 or something like that. Northwood usually has a pretty good team.
And this is when you start to figure out, this is the point of the season where you start can those Sagarin ratings and comparisons start to make sense. You start to figure out, through teams and some consistency about just who the good teams are. I look at that Jimtown game, and the Jimmies 4-0, New Prairie 4-0. Jimtown is ranked number 2 in Class 3A. New Prairie, number 9 this week in Class 4A, which I can't remember the last time New Prairie was ranked in Class 4A, so congratulations for them on that. Their Sagarin ratings are only 11 points apart. And I'll say right now, the only reason that Jimtown isn't number 1 in Class 3A, because they were a week ago, is that Indianapolis Chittard beat Cathedral last week. And so I figure if you're Chittard and you get to beat Cathedral, you get to be number 1 in Class 3A.
Cathedral is usually the standard of 4A, that's for sure.
Right. And here's the scary thing for you. 4 of the top 20 teams in the Sagarin ratings are 3A or 4A private schools.
Wow.
So they're probably the only reason there's not 6 of them is because there's only 4 of them.
Okay.
So, and
Bremen's going to start here on offense. We'll see what happens as we get back to the action.
And the kick is high and short. It hits the ground, and it's looks like John Stoller on the carry. Gets up to about the 30-yard line before he's wrapped up.
Culver's had a determined effort of that just short directional pooch kick, and it's worked out fairly well for him. Bremen's only had, I believe, 1 good return so far. They get that one out to the 30-yard line, so decent field position.
And Stoller and Miller come off for the Lions. Bremen breaks the huddle and shows power to the left, I formation. Bennett on the near side, and the handoff is to Nepper, who's up the middle, and, man, just nowhere to go. Good pursuit angles by the defensive backs from Culver. He was looking around trying to find a place to get away from those guys as they were coming down on him, and just not able to break that one for a touchdown, but good effort there by Nepper.
He had a receiver out there. I thought maybe could have sprung him for the touchdown, but the defenders did a nice job of boxing him in there in the middle of the field, and that's definitely how you wanted to draw it up coming out of the locker room, getting a big play right away, about 50-yard gain.
So Slough on the handoff to Nepper, who goes left and is converged on, but nice cut there, and picks up about 9.5 close to the first down.
Yeah, Nepper, he almost got a first down out of something. I thought he was going to get stopped in the backfield there.
And I tell you, I was thinking about this before the game. There were about 2 moments yesterday and this one tonight where Nepper is seeming, this might be a stretch, but Barry Sanders-like in some ways. So he's got that low to the ground.
Yes, he is small of stature, but has a big heart.
Yes, that's right.
And we'll see the Barry Sanders reference being a Hall of Fame running back may be a bit of a stretch, but he's made some nice plays for sure.
So stack receivers right, Bennett in motion to the left, and the flip is to Mullen on the right side. And he powers through an arm tackle, and looks like he picks up enough for a first down for Bremen.
Well, one thing Mullen's shown so far to me is that he's not going to be brought down by either one guy trying to make an arm tackle or just one guy in general. He's really been running strong there on that toss out to the right. Bremen's ran that play probably 6 or 7 times, and every time he's getting 4 or 5 yards at least.
Yeah, and I see seeing Mullen at that fullback position is shades of David Sloss circa 1996. That's about the only guy I can think of that kind of fits into that mold.
Really reaching back into the time machine, bringing those mid-'90s references back.
Well, that's my point of reference, so that's what you guys are going to hear from me. If you want to make some other references, feel free to send us an email at sales@broadcastsport.net, and we would be happy to pass on your
please do
your recollections. So, yeah, we appreciate hearing from you guys every week, and
once again here, Bremen's inside the 20.
Slough on the handoff to Nepper again, and picks up about 2 or 3 there, bringing up a third down and about 5.
Culver did a nice job there, their linebacker filling that hole. Nepper got stood up and taken down. He did get 2 or 3 yards, but at the point of contact, I really didn't think he had a lot of yardage there. Again, though, physical running from Nepper in between the tackles. It seems he's Bremen's choice to run it in between the tackles, and then they'll pitch it to Mullen or Stoller if they want to go around the outside.
And so we've got those stacked receivers again, and Crack back there attempted. Man, look at Mullen go! It's like he just is waiting for that outside linebacker to come hit him so that he can hit him first. You know,
somebody missed their block there. The Culver linebacker anticipated.
I think he anticipated a little bit. They were trying to run a crack back there with Stoller, and it looks like he just missed the guy. So we're going to bring up 4th and short for the Lions. Interesting situation here. Do you go for it, or I don't know? If you got a guy that can kick this, you got to get an extra point here somewhere. But
it looks like they're going to go for it. Wishbone formation.
And the toss is to Stoller, who makes the cut and picks up the first down. Nice gain there of about 4 yards on 4th and 2 for John Stoller.
Yeah, Coach Holmes a little bit gutsy rolling the dice there, but they executed the play, got about 5 yards and a first down.
And one of the things that Coach Thomas had said during the week, during one of his media interviews, he said he was a little concerned with Culver's defense and their ability to adjust to all of the sets that Bremen was going to throw at him. So they're a good job of Coach Holmes going goal line and going wishbone. Toss play again to Nepper, who hits the corner and gets it in the end zone. Nice stretch there by Eric Nepper.
Yeah, Nepper extended the football there and got it across the line. I don't think he would have made it had he not reached out there.
And that's just being hungry right there, Dusty, because it's easy sometimes to think, you know what, I'm going to keep the ball secure here. You know, we'll get to the next down and we'll give it another shot. But you never know what's going to happen on the next play. So a good sense of urgency there by Knepper to punch the ball in. And now Bremen only trails 21-19 with about 8.5 to go here in the third quarter. And Bremen's going to go for two, see if they can't tie this one up.
Yeah, right after I say Knepper's running in between the tackles, they run a sweep with him. So
double
switch
tight
up
wishbone. Slav fakes the pass and kicks it to Cornett. Or no, excuse me, not Cornett. There's Zelmer.
Number 5, we just talked about. He's back in.
Yeah, and just as I was doubting him being able to be there, I guess they might have, I don't know.
Pulled him out of the locker room at halftime.
There you go. Pumped him full of fluids, threw him in a uniform, and brought him out here. So good to see Ryan Zelmer there on the sidelines. Or, I don't know, Ben Heaney was down there. He's coaching now. Maybe they suited him up to put him back at that number 5. But, no, good to see him out there. Now Bremen down just one score. A field goal will put us ahead if we need to. And a touchdown will put us comfortably ahead.
Well, that's what Bremen was looking to do there. Come out of the locker room, move the ball right down the field and put it in the end zone. Bremen's done a much better job this week converting once they're in the red zone. Last week it looked like they got down to the red zone regularly and just couldn't put the ball in the end zone. And this week that they've executed, and Knepper made a real nice effort there at the goal line to get across. There
you go. So that Bremen touchdown brought to you by Verizon, one of our sponsors here, bringing you NSC football on broadcastsport.net. The touchdown, again, a 6-yard run there by Eric Knepper. And the kick is caught around the 18-yard line. And Jacob Bennett looks like to be in on the tackle there.
Yeah, cut him down right there about the 35-yard line. Pretty good coverage there for the Lions.
Was that number 6 out there for Culver? Because I'm not seeing a 6 on their roster.
I didn't see for sure.
That must have been Hansel, number 5.
I saw a 5 running off the field, so we'll credit it to Hansel.
And it's Stevens under center for the first time this half, single back, and the give is to 24, Alanius, who gets about 2 yards on the carry.
Yeah, the Bremen defense did a nice job of stringing that one out until they had help to bring him down, about 3 guys there on the end.
And it looks like Zelmer was not just in for that play, but it looks like he may be in good enough shape to hopefully play the rest of the half here, as he was in on that tackle just a second ago.
Yeah, so you wonder if he just wasn't strong enough early on, or they're just trying to save him for the second half. They thought maybe he could only play part of the game. We'll see what happens here if he makes it for the whole half. That was a short gain there for Culver on the fullback dive. Brings up 3rd and 6 while Jesse enjoys his wings, etc. here. Culver once again kind of goes the no huddle, looking over to the sideline for the play.
And looks like both of Culver's top receivers here.
Yeah, this is an intimidating set
and
here.
Elliott down here on the near side, and Stevens looks that direction, but good pressure in front of him, and it's intercepted by Jacob Bennett for the Lions. And that's one of those things, Dusty. I have to say, you almost give your hand away too much. You put both your guys over there on the Y side of the field, and right from the snap, that's where Stevens was looking. So,
well, it looked like what they were trying to do was they had both their receivers, as you say, but they were looking for Bremen to over-pursue on Baczynski. It looked like he stayed there like it was going to be a quick pass, and he pump fake, and the Bremen DBs didn't fall for it at all. And he just threw it up. It was like they had decided that was going to be the throw from the beginning.
Yep.
And
a little lack of patience there for Culver. Man in motion is Stoller. And the give inside looks like Eric Knepper. Yep, the carry was to Knepper for a gain of about 3.5 yards.
Knepper's sure earning his yardage tonight. He's had a lot of physical runs in between the tackles.
And with 6 minutes, 40 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Culver leads Bremen 21-19. Slough hands off to Stoller. Stoller up the middle, picks up first down yards and more, and up across the 45-yard line is John Stoller.
Yeah, Stoller's making the most of his first appearance here of the season. He's had some nice running. I like how he finished that run by covering the ball with both hands. You can see the Culver defenders really trying to rip the ball out there at the end, but he did a nice job of protecting it and picking up the first down.
And I'll tell you, Dusty, I came in tonight wondering why we were throwing the ball so much the last few weeks, hoping that Bremen would really commit to the run this game, and it seems like we're doing just that, and successfully.
Yeah, this is old-school Bremen football here.
And again, the give is to Nepper, working off the block.
Oh, that was a
Ethan
great block.
Pike right there. Pancake block for Ethan Pike. And again, touchdown, Bremen, touchdown, Eric Nepper, right to the same spot he scored the last one on.
That was a real nice design play there. I thought it looked like it was going to be a pass.
Man.
And they just hit it up the middle there with Nepper, a quick veer. By the time the Culver defenders realized it was going to be a run, I think he was about 5 or 10 yards downfield.
And I'll tell you, I can't say again, what a great downfield block by Ethan Pike, who just completely pancaked that defensive back.
Ethan's a physical receiver, 6'4", senior. He's not going to let a little 5'9" cornerback push him around out there. He exerted his will there on that block for sure.
And so Bremen goes for 2 again here, wishbone formation, double tight. And the give is to Nepper, who gets up near the goal line. Looks like his helmet got across, but the linesman says no good.
It is where the ball ends up. He almost got in there on his own. I thought it looked like it got blown up in the backfield, but Nepper made a nice second effort to even make that close.
And so just under 6 minutes to play, third quarter from Don Bungie Field. Bremen now leads Culver 25-21. I'm Jesse Bohannon with Dusty Kiefer and Jamal Baldwin. You're listening to NSC Football on BroadcastSport.net. Couple of scores of interest around the area. Third quarter, Penn 49, Clays nothing. St. Joe up 1 point over Adams, 14-13 in the third. Concord 28, Goshen 7 in the second quarter. The Jimmies now pulling away from New Prairie, so closing all doubt about who's the best team in this conference right now. The Jimmies 28, New Prairie 6 in the second quarter.
Yeah.
So, wow. Bremen is going to really have to get themselves ready to go here for the Jimmies in a few weeks. Northridge and Warsaw tied at the half, 21-21. And Plymouth leads Memorial 12-6, but Memorial, thank goodness for them, they got a touchdown tonight. So hopefully things will start picking up there a little bit for the Crimson Chargers. And here we are, Eric Nepper set to kick off for the Lions. It's a short spinning kick.
Oh.
And looks like first time I'm going to get to call this number so far this year. Caleb Walter in on the tackle for Bremen. The 5'8", 150-pound sophomore. Nice to see him getting a stick in there on the tackle. And then Ethan Pike coming in to help clean it up. But
that was one of those weird kickoffs. The shape of the football lends itself to weird bounces sometime, and that looked really strange coming off his foot, and it almost paid off for Bremen.
So Joel Miller playing nose, standing over the Culver center in the 3-5. The give us to the first man, Ethan Pike in there on the tackle, and the assist.
Host the Lions there
goes to Lauderback again. So Pike on the ankle tackle, and Lauderback kind of seals things up. And a good stop there on first down, bringing up second and long.
I've been really impressed with this Lauderback kid here at the defensive end. This is the first time I've gotten to see Bremen this year, and I know they lost Abe Hall, who was just an absolute monster there on the line, and he's looking like he could be a quality.
Back to pass, downfield overthrows Budzinski amongst a host of Lions there. You got Bennett and Cornett. and Pike all around him, and he still looks like a giant amongst the three of them.
I think that Bremen's decided you're not going to let Budzinski get wide open and beat us here in the second half.
Yeah.
There was 3 guys there, and he really, I thought, had a chance at that one, but just a little bit overthrown.
So I think the defense is saying, yeah, I know you can do this. What else can you do, right?
Yeah.
We'll see if we take this away from you, can you do something else? So, again, it's a spread formation. Stevens, the pass, rolls right, and the pressure there by Nepper. A jump pass to Bud. Is that Budzinski? Yeah, it's got to be. He's 7 feet tall. And up across the midfield marker. Good for first down yardage.
That was a real nice throw there by Stevens. He threw back across his body. A lot of times, coaches will tell a quarterback not to do that. It lends itself to a lot of interceptions, and it's a lot less accurate. But he put it right on the money there and picked up the first down.
Shades of Doug Flutie on that pass there with the jump pass. So, again, Culver goes no huddle to the line. 4:50 to play in the third. Stevens fakes the handoff, rolls left, plenty of time there.
He could run, yeah.
And Miller on the pursuit.
Oh, my.
Stevens able to evade a tackle there and finally brought down up close to the Bremen 30-yard line.
I think that Bremen just assumed that he was going to be brought down, and he just managed to kind of elude one guy after another and broke free for another 5 to 10 yards.
And that's why he's the key to their success that he is, Dusty. Not just here on the football field, but on the basketball floor as well. Whatever needs to get done, like we said earlier, he kicks the PATs and he
does
throws
the
ball.
laundry. And
he can run the ball, yeah. Whatever needs to be done, Stevens is happy to do it. So there he is. He checks his wristband and sets the offense. Single back, spread.
Bremen bringing the
and
blitz.
He hands the ball off. This time.
They ran right at the Bremen blitz that time.
Yeah, this time to Elanius on the ball carrier. Picks up about 7 yards on first down. Cornette in on the tackle.
That's one of those times where you try to get overly aggressive and try to do something on first down, and they run a draw play right at where you're blitzing, and then it's wide open.
Yeah. And you can tell Culver is really trying to spread Bremen out right here with the 4 receivers. And there the give is to Elanius again, but there's nothing going on that one. Zelmer in on the tackle, along with Zach Zimmer, to send him reeling backwards.
Yeah, Bremen doing a nice job with their assignments there. They had about 3 guys there that met him in the hole. So it brings up 3rd and short here. You wonder what Culver's going to do. Are they going to throw a pass to Budzinski? Or are they going to run it up the middle with Arrhenius?
I tell you, I'd let Stevens keep it here. So we go back to their wing formation for the first half, man in motion. The give is to the second man on the scissors play, and he breaks it for a long run. Pickup of about 15 yards. Goes to Bradley Beaver. And Beaver hasn't gotten a lot of carries tonight, Dusty, but he's been effective when he has gotten the ball. Sort of reminiscent of the third man in the running game that Jimtown likes to keep, a Adrian Pettis type or a what's the
I'm not good with my mid-'90s football references. I'm sorry.
I'm sure Emerson is the kid.
Oh, Emerson, yes, he's
right now where they'll get maybe 5 carries a game, but they always pick up big yards because they go to him so rarely.
Yeah, that was a nice play there by Culver. Oh, the Bremen guy jumped her out and missed it.
Wow. So touchdown there for Culver. Ethan Pike read the pass but missed the tip by about 5 inches there. And the touchdown pass goes to the number 2 receiver, Elliott. And as we said during the pregame, Dusty, the conversation around the league has been, who's the best pair of receivers in the conference right now? Is it Budzinski and Elliott, or is it Pike and Zelmer? And so far tonight, Budzinski and Elliott have been proving that so far at least.
They've made some big plays. They have.
And of course, it would help if Zelmer was 100%, if he'd played a little bit in the first half. But nevertheless, Culver leads by 3 points, and
got a tug of war back and forth right now.
The kicking game meaning a lot here right now, at least being able to get that snap and hold together. So Bremen behind by 3, 28-25, 2 minutes, 31 seconds to go here in the third quarter. You're listening to Bremen Lion football on BroadcastSport.net.
Introducing the new Share Everything plan. Unlimited talk, unlimited text, and a single pool of shareable data. It's the plan that revolves around you. And now get $100 off select Motorola 4G LTE smartphones like the Droid Razr. Now only $99.99 after $50 mail-in rebate debit card and $50 instant savings. Only from Verizon. And perfect for back to school. Visit any Verizon store, VerizonWireless.com/sale, or call 1-800-256-4646. Requires new 2-year activation. Upgrade, early termination, and other fees may apply. Coverage details at VerizonWireless.com/bestnetwork.
Buggy Field in Bremen. Late in the third quarter, the Lions trail 25-28 to Culver. Stevens ready to kick off for the Cavaliers, and he puts it low but deep, and the bounce is to John Stoller, who beats the first man and then runs into an arm tackle there at the 30-yard line.
Well, if you're Bremen here, Jesse, you shouldn't be deflated. I mean, we've lost the lead again, but Bremen's put 2 scores on the board so far here in the third quarter, so just keep doing what you're doing, I guess. They've been able to run the ball downfield.
And I think the good news for Bremen, Dusty, is that we finally got some offensive rhythm going, probably for the first time since week 1.
Yeah, Bremen's really, I think we scored more points now almost than we have in the 3 games since. So that's encouraging, definitely, to see.
So the Lions on offense, the split backs, again with the toss to Nepper. And this time sniffed out.
Yeah, Culver, I think, was waiting on that one.
Well, I think, you go outside, and pretty soon that defensive end gets sick of giving up his responsibility to you. So, Again, though, what's that do?
Opens up the middle.
That's correct. So now you'll be able to fake that toss and either go QB keep or turn with a reverse or something like that. So, again, as you become successful, it continues to open up deeper parts of your playbook. The give is to Stoller, who cuts inside. Got back what Nepper lost there and then picked up about another 3, so about 3rd and 7 coming up for the Lions.
Yeah, I think this is going to be an important play here. We're winding down here in the third quarter. Got about a minute left. You're trailing in the ball game. You don't want to just punt it right back to them after you've given up a touchdown, so especially on a 3-and-out. So you look for something in your playbook that you're really comfortable running. You're going to be able to pick up about 6 yards and move the chains because you don't want to be punting it back to start the fourth quarter.
And again, the flip goes to Stoller this time, breaks the arm tackle, gets the first down yardage, and he's breaking away, brought down from behind. Great pursuit there.
I'm really impressed with that run by Stoller. Being his first game, he really was patient, didn't get overly excited about getting to the outside, and was able to cut back using his blocker.
Yeah.
Because it looked like Culver had a nice pursuit there, and he waited on the hole to open and then just burst through at the last second and picked up about 10 yards.
I'll tell you what I was impressed by, and that's 64 Mark Herford, one of the first-team all-conference guys for Culver from last year, to run down that running back as a
That's impressive,
lineman.
Especially in high school.
Good time there for Slough as he throws downfield to Ethan Pike. And, oh, my goodness, Pike brings it down, and the defensive back is just kicking himself right there. Chris Zahner, he was right where he wanted to be, but the ball went right through his hands.
Yeah, that was great concentration by Pike because I thought the ball was at least going to be tipped, if not intercepted.
And, man, I tell you, if that's a good thing that they let you get away with a little bit more in football than you do in basketball, because that kid would have gotten teed up if this is a basketball game. But that's why I love football, because we get to show our emotions out here. So Lions, Pike on the near side, but the give is to Nepper, and looks like for a third time hits that cone there. Touchdown, Bremen. Touchdown, Eric Nepper.
Eric Nepper is having an absolutely beastly second half here. That's his third touchdown on the ground here just in the third quarter.
And, man, I have to tell you, just like
and that's what you were saying, Jabo. They hit that quick hitter right up the middle, not going to the outside.
And we've got a man down on the field. Let's lean the camera out here a little bit and see if we can't pick up who that is.
Oh, it's Eric
right
Nepper.
Now, Nepper is down. And
he was laid out for the pylon.
I hope he's able to get back up because, I mean, not only is he a great kid, and we'd hate to see him hurt, but, man, Bremen has become extremely dependent on him over the last game and a half as far as being able to run their offense. Just to give you a little recap of where Nepper's been so far this year. Starts out those first 3 games of the season and didn't have a whole lot of success. He was averaging about 2.5 yards a carry. And there he's up. He's up and moving, heading back to the Bremen huddle, and it looks like he's okay. Maybe
he may have just had some cramps.
Got the wind knocked out of him or something like that.
Yeah, knocked the wind out of him.
But his third touchdown in the last 3 Bremen possessions, so kudos for the junior tailback.
That's that adjustment we were talking about at halftime. They decided to really get Eric involved here in the second half.
And the spot in the hold is good, and Schlarb's kick is good, so Bremen takes the lead 32-28 over Culver with 18 seconds to go here in the third quarter.
And that tug-of-war continues, Jesse, back and forth. It's kind of going to be either what defense is going to step up and make a play or who's going to have the ball to end this game, it looks like.
There you go.
Are you a high school or middle school athlete looking to separate yourself from the pack? If you need that extra push to achieve your athletic goals, give Performance One a try. Performance One was created to take athletes to the next level, both mentally and physically. Our innovative and cutting-edge training methods are designed to challenge athletes and push them to achieve their peak performance. With both private and group training sessions, we can help take your game to the next level. Visit our website at www.p1training.com. That's www.p1training.com.
Bungie Field in Bremen. The Lion offensive train moving again here finally and able to break that 30-point barrier for the first time since week 1. Eric Nepper with a great little run there to cap off that drive. And Baker to kick off. The carry is to Arrhenius on the return, and he's able to pick up a couple of yards going down just across the 40-yard line.
Yeah, that was another one of those ugly kicks that kind of, I'm not sure if it's planned or...
We're down to our number 3 kicker right now.
Okay, so you probably don't have too many third-string kickers on the roster, so putting in whoever can kick off the best, I suppose.
Yep, and just to give you a little recap on Eric Nepper's contributions here a little bit. Started out weeks 1 through 3, a total of 80 yards in those 3 games, and averaging about, like I said, 2.5 yards a carry. But last week really had a breakout, 27 carries, 121 yards, and 4 yards a carry. But really, even more so this week to break out with 3 touchdowns here in the last 2 quarters. Great job by Nepper.
I saw part of the game last week on this broadcast Sportnet, and I did see when he had a big run there in the fourth quarter to convert a first down as Bremen was trying to run the clock out. And definitely those are the type of runs that you're expecting out of your leaders of your team.
There you go. So still no scores reported from the Glen Triton game or from Knox and LaVille. We're still at halftime at Jimtown, at New Prairie, where the Jimmies lead the Cougars 28-6. And here at Bungie Field, as Bremen starts the fourth quarter, it's the Lions up on the Cavaliers 32-28.
So I know you know this, Jesse, being a former football player, but there is a sign, I believe, hanging in the locker room that says the Lions will win the fourth quarter.
Yes.
This will take conditioning.
This will take conditioning.
And we'll see what happens here. It's been a back-and-forth struggle, and it looks like it's going to come down to just fundamentals and conditioning, who's going to either step up and make a play, or it may just come down to who has the ball at the end, like we said.
And you see, Culver's been doing this stuff throughout the game to try to take as much time off the clock as they can to try to let their players get their breath and stuff, because Culver is they're one of the 20 smallest schools in the state of Indiana to play football. They don't have the depth of their roster that most of the teams do here in the league, so they've got to do things like that to shorten the game.
Well, so far it's paying off for them. They've definitely had a good game plan.
And the give again to Elanius, who picks up about 9.5 yards. Bobby Cornett on the tackle. And Bobby Cornett's been having a heck of a season so far. Not only is he the emotional leader of this team, but he's also leading in some statistical carries as well. He's got 20 solo tackles coming into the game tonight, 18 assists, 3 interceptions as well for the starting safety.
Yeah, the type of kid that you look for here to make a play here in the fourth quarter.
Stevens on the keeper picks up the first down and about another 2 yards.
Yeah, Culver didn't get cute with that one. They just picked up what they needed.
I don't know why you don't see more of that, Dusty, especially, for Bremen, they're running a odd-numbered defense, so they've got a guy over the center. But if they're going to give you, no man across the center in any of these short yardage situations, I don't know why people don't take that quarterback sneak more often. So Culver back to the wing, power right. The handoff is to Elanius again, who gets not much there. About a yard is the mark, 2nd and long. And you can see Culver starting to walk around out there a little bit. They were a little quicker in the first half to get back to the line and get set, but they're kind of moseying along out there and taking their time.
Yeah, this is where depth and conditioning really begin to show up here once you get into the fourth quarter.
And you can see strong power right in this formation. The number 1 and 2 receivers here on the near side, wing right, and there goes that fire pass again.
Oh, nobody
really overthrown, and I don't know if Stevens was expecting.
I think Stevens thought the pass was to Budzinski, and the pass was really to Stevens, and they had a little bit of a mix-up there.
Or you think he thought he was going to Elliott? Is that?
Oh, yeah, Elliott.
Well, either way, nobody was there.
Yeah, Elliott thought the pass was going to Budzinski.
And the defense chant coming up from the Bremen crowd. About the first time that this home crowd's gotten to chant this year. The give is to the second man, Beaver, and Beaver goes nowhere. Stopped again for a gain of about 6 inches maybe, and that's going to bring up 4th and 9, 50-yard line. You can hear Marty Huber down there on the sideline yelling for the punt return team.
Yeah, Bremen dialed up a blitz there, and it ran right into the play, the hole that Culver was trying to go through. So that was a good call there by the Bremen defensive coordinator.
And is that Ethan Pike's deep? There's another wrinkle for the Lions, putting Pike in the return spot. And Culver gets the punt away. Lots of time and a good spiral there. Takes a Bremen bounce, but dies there about the 13 or 14-yard line. So 9 minutes, 43 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. Bremen leads 32-28 over Culver.
Mapletronics Computers is the place to find great computers, great service, and really great people. Stop by their showroom located at 2116 West Wilden Avenue in Goshen and see what's new in home and office computing. Give them a call at 534-2830 or visit their website at www.mapletronics.com. Are you a high school or middle school athlete looking to separate?
And back to live action here at Bungie Field in Bremen. The Lion offense takes over at the 15-yard line. Toss right is to John Stoller. Toss left to Stoller. And he takes it up the field to around the 20, a pickup of about 6 yards.
This is the point in the game, Jesse, where I think Bremen's just going to try and impose their will. You know, there's only 9 minutes left. You got 85 yards to drive. Take as much time off the clock here and see if you can put the ball in the end zone.
And that's how you seal up a game and destroy the will of your opponent to continue to win, is if you can take up 4.5, 5 minutes here and put a touchdown on the board. That should seal things up here. But ball security, again, is premium.
Yeah, this is a big moment here for the young Lions. Here at the end of the game, you know, Culver's expecting Bremen to run here probably, and just making the block, making the play, and just holding on to the ball. You don't want to give away an easy field position here.
And so the Lions come to the line again. Split backs this time. The tight end, Cornett, is right. Bennett in motion. Flip again. Goes to...
He didn't get there.
Stoller, is that...
That's that play Bremen's been running all game, and Culver has stepped up here in the last few minutes here and really...
Oh, wow. There you go. Here, this is where you send out the quarterback and you bark at him for about 8 or 10 times and you see if they'll jump off sides.
Yeah, this is where discipline comes into play here for the Culver defensive line. And, although Coach Holmes has been a gambler his couple years here, I wouldn't be necessarily surprised if we try it.
There we go. And nice, good, there you go. That's a gamble right there. Sometimes you roll the dice and you get exactly what you're looking for. And a great first down pickup there for Dylan Mullen.
You know, that's one of those calls where it works out, you look like a genius, and if it doesn't, you look like an idiot. That time it worked out, and Bremen gets out past the 30-yard line.
There you go. And see, what you do is you go outside, 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 and then boom, you come back inside, and they've completely forgotten about the inside.
Yeah, and Mullen's been a tough runner. He kind of limps off here on to the sideline. We'll see how serious that is.
And so it's Stoller and who's the second back in there? Oh, we got
Stoller off the left side, not going down.
Matt Holderman was the second back in there, but Stoller on the carry and runs over a Culver defender who looks like he's not having a very good time down there right now.
Yeah, he's down.
So injury timeout on the field, and the injured Cavalier is Elanius, which he'd be a big loss for Bremen, but it looks like he's up and walking now.
Yeah, I think he just maybe hit knees.
Yeah, it was one of those stingers. It looks like he got out there, and those are never fun.
Yeah, maybe a Charlie horse.
Yeah, and so since play was stopped, Elanius is going to have to go out. He was playing one of those linebacker positions, and if I'm Coach Holmes, I'm running my play right at where he came out from. See if he can stop anything, this new guy that just came in. And so we've got Cornett in motion, and again, Culver just flip-flopping that defense, dangerous. And the give is to Stoller, who picks up about 7 yards. So great adjustment by the Bremen coaching staff this week to go to John Stoller at the running back position. He's had a good night tonight.
Yeah, for a kid that hasn't been in all season, I wouldn't know, being my first time seeing. He's been able to run outside and show some speed. He's been, the last couple runs, been running between the tackles with a little bit of strength, and he ran a guy over and knocked him out of the game there for a play. So,
and that's exactly what we saw out of this class of 2014 coming in here, is that they got a whole bunch of running backs in this class. They don't have a lot of linemen, but they've got a lot of running backs.
Well, then you rely on the class ahead of them or behind them, I guess.
And nice, I don't know if that was a read there by Stoller. It took a little bit to develop there. And
yeah, it looked like they just left the defensive end unblocked and were expecting him to make the play of getting around him.
There you go. So good play there by the D end. That was like 75. Mr. Hopkins on the tackle, and he's been one of the bright spots for the Culver defense this year. He was the second guy for the Cavs that was on the NSC All First Team for defense last season. So again, having a good year there. And the handoff is to Stoller. He bobbles the ball a bit and gets right up to the first down marker. So this one's going to come down to the spot, Dusty.
I think they're going to have to measure this one. They're calling in the chains, it looks like. But again, he dragged a guy for the extra couple yards there. And, Stoller had been thought of to be their speed back.
I think he's got that.
Oh, they didn't even measure.
That's one of the nice things about it being right there on the line. If the line's straight, you got it. So Bremen first down, 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line, heading the short way into the Culver end zone. The Lions lead 32-28 with 6 minutes, 10 seconds to play in the game.
I think this is the point in the game, Jesse, when you start to run that play clock down, 6 minutes left, and you're in Culver territory. But they go right away.
And there's Mullen on the carry. Picks up about 5, and scores finally coming in from some of these other NSC games. John Glenn leads Triton 19-0 at the half. A lot of people thought that LaVille might have the Falcons' number this year, but Glenn, again, showing that they've got a great coaching staff there and a good program built up. So even though they had a little trouble adjusting at the beginning of the season, they're back on stride now.
They lost Josh Anderson off of last year's team. Was a heck of a player and had a great game against Bremen.
Slough back to pass. He gets some pressure and looks like he's going to be sacked. Drugged down in the backfield by, was that Elanius on the tackle? He blitzed in and was able to pick him up.
That was what you didn't want to have happen
Wow.
if you're a Bremen fan, was to lose 10 yards, and then Culver takes the timeout here with about 5 minutes left.
So the Cavaliers force Bremen into a 3rd and long, about 3rd and 17, and then call the timeout. So we'll take a break here real briefly, and we'll be back with you in just a second from Bungie Field. I'm Jesse Bohannon with Dusty Kiefer on BroadcastSport.net.
Introducing the new Share Everything plan. Unlimited talk, unlimited text, and a single pool of shareable data. It's the plan that revolves around you. And now get $100 off select Motorola 4G LTE smartphones like the Droid Razr. Now only $99.99 after $50 mail-in rebate debit card and $50 instant savings. Only from Verizon. And perfect for back to school. Visit any Verizon store, VerizonWireless.com/sale, or call 1-800-256-4646. Requires new 2-year activation. Upgrade, early termination, and other fees may apply. Coverage details at VerizonWireless.com/bestnetwork.
Bremen Lion football from Bungie Field. 5 minutes, 13 to play in the 4th. I'm Jesse Bohannon with Dusty Kiefer and Jamal Baldwin here on BroadcastSports.net. The Lions on top of Culver, and on the drive, Kai Slough in shotgun takes the snap, rolls left, and good time there by Bremen, but underthrown. So 3rd and long becomes 4th and long, and an obvious punting situation for the Bremen offense.
Yeah, Slough, you can tell that he was a little bit frustrated with himself there. He slaps his helmet. He had Pike open. I don't know if it would have got enough for the first down, but he just underthrew it there. Just didn't trust his arm enough.
And Jimtown continuing to prove to the doubters that they are still Jimtown. 34-6, they lead New Prairie in the 3rd quarter.
That's a surprise to me, definitely.
Warsaw beating Northridge 28-21. There's another new score that just came in. And the punt gets away for Baker. Beautiful punt. Forces him back near the 15-yard line and had to go down to make the catch. So, indeed, Justin Baker, an excellent punt there for the Lions, hitting them down inside the 20-yard line. So Culver is going to have to go 85 yards.
Closer to 90, it looks like.
Yeah, I guess he's right down near the 10. They've proven they've had the ability to make some big plays tonight. I think
that was an impressive punt. Baker being a freshman, he didn't look like a freshman with that kick.
And he's had a couple of good ones. Hopefully this will be his chance to solidify this special team spot for himself. So Stevens makes the reverse pivot and comes to the outside, overthrows his receiver. He was looking for Preston Hansel.
Yeah, the Bremen defense had that one covered up pretty well. He would have had to fit that one into a pretty narrow window to get that one to Hansel there on the sideline.
And so 2nd and long comes up. I got to believe that Culver's going to be looking for Budzinski, and they're going to be looking for Elliott. Those two receivers have both come up with touchdowns tonight for
I
the
may be
Cavaliers.
mistaken, J-Bo, but I don't think we've called Budzinski's name here in the second half.
I think you're right about that. And the Stevens pass goes left side to Elliott.
That was a nice play there by the Bremen defense, just to come up and knock him out of bounds. You don't have to get real cute with the tackle or make a big hit. Just do your job, make it 3rd and 6.
And that's kind of what you hope. I kind of get frustrated as well. Like, you know, as somebody that didn't play defensive back, you say, why do you give somebody 10 yards? Well, that's why you give them 10 yards. You let them catch the ball, and you let them pick up 5 or 6. You don't let them get behind you, and you take the risk that the next time will be an incompletion or you'll have a chance to intercept the ball. So Stevens back to pass, looks downfield to Budzinski, and he's able to haul the catch in, but that's Cornett on the tackle.
Well, there we've called his name for the first time in the second
go.
half, and it was in a big spot there on 3rd down late in the game.
Yeah, and so I tell you, you know teams' tendencies. I said that they were going to be going to Budzinski and Elliott, and I was wrong. They went to Elliott and Budzinski.
But the Bremen cornerbacks are giving up right now almost 10 yards of cushion to him, so it should be a pretty easy throw here.
Looking back to Elliott again.
Oh,
man. And
the Bremen defense had that read and just couldn't make the play.
And not too
Elliott
bad of a
made
gamble
a nice
there.
Catch.
Bo Beeson on the defense there. He tried to cut off the pass, was unable to, but didn't give up the long play, was able to get back and get the tackle. And Culver now starting to move the chains a little bit here. First time they've really gone on much of a drive here in the second half. So they go back to a tight formation. Elliott in tight with the rest of that wing formation. Budzinski's out right. And here we go, trick play, reverse pass looks like. No? And with authority, Budzinski points up the field and looks for the blockers, able to pick up the first down.
Yeah, Culver switching it up, catching Bremen a little bit over pursuit there, and they pick up 12 to 15 yards there on the reverse. And Budzinski's really making himself known now. He's been disappearing, but now they're really trying to work him into the game plan here late.
That's what you've got to do. Sometimes I hate, you get a big, powerful kid like that, and you put him out a receiver, and you say, now you got to get the ball to him. But there's a good opportunity to put it in his hands without having to throw a pass. So great blitz there by Miller with the tackle. Stops him for a gain of just a yard, and that was Lanius on the carry again.
Obviously, he wasn't shaken up too bad there a couple minutes ago, and he went off. So here's where you start to look at it, and Culver's going to try and just shorten this game down. You're less than 4 minutes now.
Yeah, that's the thing you want to do if you're Culver, is you want to score here, but you don't want to leave Bremen any time. But you definitely that's not a catch. There's no way that's a catch. Oh, wow.
They ruled it a catch.
And see, I don't get this. The near side official was ruling it incomplete. The far side official rules it a catch. If the near side official thought it was an incompletion, if he saw it hit the ground, how could the near side guy have seen him catch it? That doesn't make much sense to me.
But once again, Bremen was there to make a play, and just it got through a couple guys' hands, and Culver made the reception down
so
there.
Good play there by the Culver receiver to make the catch. And now it looks like we've got a holding penalty coming in, and this could be costly. They call these drive killers for a reason, Dusty.
And
there we are. So that should be a 10-yard penalty, and it'll bring up 1st and 20 for Culver, and that kind of limits what they're able to do here. Although at least they're in 4-down territory, so they've only got to get about 5 yards a pop here.
Yeah, they call those drive killers, and definitely helped Bremen out. They were kind of on their heels now. Now Culver's got a bit of a spot that they got to pick up 20 yards here, and the first down is actually down inside the 5 now.
There you go.
So it's a bit of a narrower field here.
So not a lot out there changing on the scoreboards around the area. Everything's pretty much the same it was 5 minutes ago. And Stevens overthrows his receiver.
That's one of those situations where I think he just didn't get his feet set. He had a guy open over there, and it just, as soon as the ball came out of his hand, just looked a little off. He's got to get his feet set there before he makes the throw. He got a little too excited. He had a man, but just overthrew him there on the sideline.
So with just over 3 minutes to play, here in the fourth. Bremen with a thin 32-28 advantage. And Budzinski with the reception.
He paid the price, though. He took a pretty big hit there in the back. He pops back up.
And the thing that you hate is you pick up 7 yards on that play, and still it's 3rd and 11 for Culver.
And now the clock is winding down towards the 2.5-minute mark here.
And here, I'm thinking if I'm Coach Holmes, I might call a timeout here actually, because the last thing you want to do is let them.
It looks like Culver might do it for him.
I think they're running the clock here, Dusty. They're doing this on purpose. They're waiting. They're going to get down, and they're going to run it all the way down and then call their timeout. So, with 2:17 to play here in the fourth quarter, Bremen leads 32-28. And the Lions going to see what they can do here the next couple minutes to preserve this win. You're listening to NSC Football on BroadcastSport.net.
Mapletronics Computers is the place to find great computers, great service, and really great people. Stop by their showroom located at 2116 West Wilden Avenue in Goshen and see what's new in home and office computing. Give them a call at 534-2830 or visit their website at www.mapletronics.com. Are you
And the Lions offense comes back to the field. The Lions defense back to the field. Culver attempting to punch the ball in with just over 2 minutes to play in the fourth. A 4-point lead for Bremen.
Yeah, it's coming down to the end again this week, Jesse.
And the Lions fans come to their feet. And a trick play.
Oh, he dropped it.
Thrown out wide there. The pass was attempted by Hansel. He was looking for Beaver out there on the side, and he was unable to connect with him. The ball just overthrown a little bit. So 4th and 11 here. This is going to be the game for Culver. If they can convert this, pick up a first down or a touchdown, they're still in the game. But if Bremen can hold here, the Lions should be able to run out the clock.
Yeah, sometimes they say you're better lucky than good. Bremen got a little lucky. They had a receiver there in the corner of the end zone. I think he just dropped it. He was almost too wide open.
I think it was overthrown a little bit. I think he was tiptoeing the line there, and watching his feet may have distracted him from the catch.
Definitely hit him in the hands, but as a Bremen fan, you'll take it, and this is basically the game here with 2 minutes and 11 seconds.
So I got to love Coach Thomas's aggressiveness going after it there. And now he calls a timeout. Good strategy there, making sure you've got your ducks in a row, because if you don't do it right this time, you don't get another shot. So we'll take one more timeout here, and we'll be right back.
Are you a high school or middle school athlete looking to separate yourself from the pack? If you need that extra push to achieve your athletic goals, give Performance One a try. Performance One was created to take athletes to the next level, both mentally and physically. Our innovative and cutting-edge training methods are designed to challenge athletes and push them to achieve their peak performance. With both private and group training sessions, we can help take your game to the next level. Visit our website at www.p1training.com. That's www.p1training.com.
And it's crunch time here, Dusty. The Bremen defense backed up in the shadow of their goal line. And Culver 4th and 11, the game right here on this last play here. Stevens drops the pass. He's flushed out, and it's a one-on-one. Oh, my goodness.
There's a flag on the play.
There's going to be a flag on the play. Good defense there by Bo Beeson, falling down to the end zone and still able to break up the pass, but we'll see what the call is.
It was incomplete.
The pass is ruled incomplete, but let's see what the call is. Does Culver get another shot, or is this it? Pass interference against the Lions. And this rule changes from year to year, so let's see where the ball is placed, whether it'll simply be a first down
at
or whether they'll put it at the 1 yard line. I don't know for sure. This might be half the distance to the goal. In any event,
that's what you didn't want to have happen as a Bremen defender there.
Better to do that than to give up
true.
the touchdown, though. And
he was falling down.
Yes. So first down for the Cavaliers. They're going to get 4 shots here. It'll be first and goal.
Half the distance to the goal.
2 minutes, 4 seconds to play. Bremen leads 32-28, and the ball will be placed at the 8.
You know, this is the point at which you ask somebody on that defensive line to just make a play. Culver now down inside the 10-yard line with 2 minutes left.
And I tell you,
we might see a blitz or something just to dial up, try to get some pressure. I'm imagining that Culver's probably going to go with a run here. But maybe a fade pass to Baczynski. He's out on the short side of the field here.
Stevens back to pass, and he is looking for his receiver, Baczynski. Another pass interference call, it looks like. Let's see which direction it goes this time, because there seemed like a lot of space between Baczynski and the Bremen defenders. It may be going back the other way.
That would be huge for Bremen.
Pass interference against the offense.
So that evened out the last call?
It doesn't quite even it out.
Well, they still have a couple chances.
Evening it out would be taking us back to 4th down.
But that's huge now because Culver is going to be back near the 20-yard line.
Right.
2nd and goal.
And I think what it does now is it takes the running option away from Culver. They have no timeouts left. And now they're going to be about hold on here. There we go. Haven't seen that call in a while either. So now we are really backing them up here. That's 15 against Culver, so it'll be
a loss of
down.
2nd and goal from the 22-yard line.
So I'm guessing they're going to be throwing for the end zone here because they don't want to.
I wouldn't be surprised to see another trick play.
And here we go, the fire pass.
Oh, nice play.
Fire pass goes to Elliott. Bo Beeson in on the tackle for the Lions.
He did a nice play there. They let him take that short pass, and he came up and did his job in the one-on-one space to bring him down for a minimal gain and make it 3rd and long here.
There you go. And so there's Beeson left out on an island with
he did his job.
With
Real
the
nice
receiver.
play.
And great play for a sophomore defensive back. Stevens back to pass. Nepper on the pressure. And the pass is knocked down by Jacob Bennett for the Lions.
That's a great break on the ball by Bennett there. He saw the pass coming and broke in front of the receiver and didn't go for the pick. He didn't try to get too aggressive, just knocked it down. And now we have 4th and goal and basically 4th in the game here for the 18-yard line.
And so because of field position, Coach Stevens has really had to commit to the pass, and that's given the Bremen defensive backs just a good knowledge to know that they can get in there and go for the breakup. So Bennett with a great breakup, Beeson with a great tackle on the play before, and here we go, as you said, Dusty, 4th in the game.
Yeah, look for 26. They're probably just going to throw a jump ball here.
And great sack there. Eric Nepper coming up big at the end of the game.
Eric Nepper, he's been doing it on offense.
And I'm going to have to say it's a little early yet. We've still got 1:18 to play. But my nominee, and I'm just going to give it to him because I get to.
I second that. Eric Nepper's been, you look for that player in a close game to make the plays, and he scored 3 touchdowns here in the second half and got the biggest defensive play of the game.
So probably in 2 games that we would have hoped coming into the season, they wouldn't have been as close as they have been. But Eric Nepper coming up big with 121 yards last week against Triton, and then here tonight, 3 touchdowns and the game-ending sack. Player of the game tonight, Eric Nepper for your Bremen Lions. So Slough takes a knee.
Yeah, it may be
and
closer
the clock
than
starts running.
It may have been closer than Bremen fans would have liked, but ultimately, at the end of the day, you just want to get out with a win, and that looks like what's going to happen here, barring an unforeseen disaster here in the last minute.
So under a minute now to play. Bremen leads 32-28 over the Culver Cavaliers. The Lions, with all of the timeouts exhausted, now have the opportunity to run this clock down. There's 13 seconds left on the play clock, and they'll have to snap this ball just one more time. And that'll do it here, folks. The officials probably won't even reset the play clock now.
Yeah, the Bremen fans are finally able to breathe a sigh of relief here and are standing on their feet applauding for the season opener here at Don J. Bungie Field. They get to go home and celebrate. The fireworks will shoot off here in a second, and everybody can go home happy. We talked about it early, Jesse, that this was going to be a game that on paper was going to be very even, come down to just a couple of plays, and that turns out what happened. You know, Eric Knepper came up big in the second half, both on offense and then on defense in the end, and Bremen goes home with a winning record now, 3-2, 2-1 in the NFC.
And the first official home game for the night, or for the year, Bremen comes away with a win. The home fans are excited, and the fireworks going off. It's a good way to start the year at home.
Yeah, there's only 3 home games, I believe, this season in the regular season. So
the next home game will be Knox for homecoming in 2 weeks. Next week, we will be, out at LaVille, I believe.
Yep, and, out on US 31.
No score from Lancer from their game yet, but we'll figure out what they're doing with Knox this week to get an idea about what kind of competition we'll be facing. But Bremen about to sing the fight song tonight. I gotta love, that's one of the new traditions that have been brought in the last couple of years that I really enjoy. So we'll jump down to the field and hear the players. A wise man once said, Dusty, a win is a win is a win. And last week at Triton, 7-0 in the rain. Here against Culver, 32-28, the opposite kind of a game, but the same kind of tension and emotion at the end of the game. And these Bremen Lions, these young Lions, learning how to win, Dusty.
Yeah, that's the most important thing, you know. You win however you can win, whether it's with defense, whether it's with offense, and it's important to get a little bit of momentum here as we're building towards what you say is a promising future here in the next couple of years.
And, as we said, 20 juniors on this team, a handful of sophomores who are contributing as well. So we're laying the groundwork at this point. Maybe for a good postseason run. A sectional 25 is pretty wide open. I know Lewis Cass is having a good season, but the postseason might look pretty good for us. We've still got an opportunity to pick up some more decent wins here in the regular season. I think we're going to have a tough challenge with Jimtown with the way that they really stuck it to New Prairie tonight. But I think pretty much all the rest of the games here in the regular season are very winnable for us. And Culver is a good football team, so to take away a win here tonight, I think is a good sign for what's coming up.
Yeah, I mean, Budzinski is a heck of an athlete, and Bremen really showed that they could adjust and really, in the second half, Culver didn't really do a whole lot on offense. We'd said at halftime that they'd relied on the big play in the first half, and Bremen was able to adjust and take that away. So it's encouraging to see not only growth amongst the team, but just the ability to adjust and not get razzled during the game, and being able to take away just such a good talent like Budzinski, because I was very impressed. You don't see many 6'6" athletic receivers in Northern Indiana football, and Bremen was able to really take away that option for the Cavaliers tonight.
Yeah, and so again, that's one of the benefits to the Bremen program for the increasing level of competition top to bottom in this league. You know, we looked at last year, and just that it was probably one of the most competitive years in the history of the NSC. You know, not only was Bremen 13-1 and basically the de facto state runners-up in Class 2A, I can say that.
Nobody's going to complain on a Bremen broadcast.
Yeah, but you know, the traditional Jimtown team that they put out last year, and the great Glenn team that was here last year, and again this Culver program probably being the best fourth place team that we've ever had in the NSC last year. And while Bremen and Culver probably aren't at the level that we were this time last year, Jimtown is certainly proven
better than they were last year.
That they're every bit as worthy a conference champion as we'll probably see. And I'm calling that early, but I don't see, you know, with the game that they had tonight, I don't see anything.
Yeah, barring
changing.
any injuries, if they stay healthy, they're going to be not only a strong favorite for the NSC, but even possibly to get down to Indianapolis in the 3A tournament.
And it looks like we're initiating a new tradition here at Bremen. I don't know if we'd be able to get this on camera or not, because it's going behind.
I think they've done this for a while. It's the 3 C's rock.
Yeah. I guess I've not been around long enough after some games to see it happening, but they're going over there and honoring the 3 C's by visiting the Monument Rock over there on the southeast
Grant
corner.
Street.
Yep, up on the Grant Street side of the field. So good to see them continuing to pay respect to those members of the Long Green Line. So. Yeah, just kind of wrapping things up here at Bunge Field. You can smell the fireworks, the
scent of victory.
Yes, rolling in here, and these Lions enjoying their win tonight. Let's take a look at the scoreboard one last time and see what else we've got coming in from around the area. Fourth quarter score: Churubusco 35, Angola nothing. Also in the fourth, Elkhart Central 34, Riley nothing. Fairfield big in their win as well, and I just got reset here, so I'm just going to take a second before we can get back here. Let's try this one more. Here we go. Like I said, Fairfield actually still in a very tight game with Eastside.
Could be a future opponent there. I believe they're in our sectional.
32-29, Fairfield leads Eastside. Fremont up big over Central Noble, 46-18. Fort Wayne North with a 28-7 lead at Mishawaka at the halftime. Lakeland 59, West Noble 6 is a final. Mishawaka Marion up 1, 27-26 with Washington in the fourth quarter. Penn has gone final, 49-0, so they were very polite in the second half. And South Bend Adams 35, South Bend St. Joseph 28, a final. That's very surprising.
Good for them after
good
they
win
had
there for the Eagles.
They had to forfeit 2 of their games this week, so good that they got back in the win column.
Concord is up 42-7 on Goshen. Jimtown now 42-12 over New Prairie in the fourth. No score still on Knox and LaVille. Northwood beating Wawasee 28-0, and Plymouth 35-6 is winning as well. So those are the scores from around the area. And I don't know that there's a whole lot more here to say, Dusty, other than looking forward, looking ahead to.
Got a couple winnable games here the next couple weeks. I think that this is really when Coach Holmes is going to try and fine-tune everything. You know, you got Jimtown coming here to Bremen in a couple weeks, and it looks like it's going to be every bit as tough as we expected it to be. So they're going to try and tighten everything up over the next couple weeks, maybe get some guys healthy. I don't know.
And I think what you saw tonight was Coach Holmes made some adjustments. You brought John Stoller in to that running back spot. You're solidifying, I think, Eric Nepper as your number one back. I think you got Dylan Mullen, who settled into that fullback role pretty well, had a good night for him as well, and really went away from the passing game, which had played so heavily into what they were doing the first few games.
They didn't ask Slaw to do too much tonight, and with what he had to do, he made some nice throws.
Yeah.
Eluded a rush one time and picked up a first down, I believe. So really, when your offense has been struggling the last few weeks, it seemed like we simplified the playbook and just relied on our athletes to make the play. And in the end, we did when we needed to, and Eric Nepper was the player of the game. Strong second half. My final thought would just be, this is a huge win. I said early on that this was kind of a swing game for the season, and now Bremen's 3-2 and got a winning record again with a little positive momentum with a couple of wins, a little bit of a winning streak here going into the midpoint of the season.
And so, 3 touchdowns for Nepper tonight. Ethan Pike got back on the scoreboard again, and I think he's had a touchdown in all but one of our games so far this year, so he's been a consistent contributor. And, just a good balanced effort. I thought the defense as a whole, even though they gave up some big plays, they did a good job as well. So, looking forward to LaVille next week. They're battling with Knox right now, and that's probably a pretty winnable game.
I don't think LaVille's won a game yet this season.
They played the Lutheran school from Indianapolis, Trinity Lutheran.
They have one win.
They shellacked them pretty good, but other than that, they haven't gotten a whole lot done. They did play Jimtown pretty solid for a half. They were only down 7-0 with Jimtown at halftime, and they forced 2 punts. They stopped Jimtown twice on 4th down, so that shows that they're not going to be a pushover. They've got what it takes, at least in certain situations, to stand up to a good team like that.
You never want to take somebody lightly, but if Bremen comes out and executes like they did tonight, doesn't turn the ball over, I think that they should walk away next week with a win as well.
All right. So a couple of things figured out tonight for the Bremen Lions. It seems like we've recovered from some of these injury issues, at least filling some guys in those spots. Hopefully we'll have Reed Zelmer back full strength next week, and keep on rolling here in this midsection of the Northern State Conference schedule. So, for Dusty Kiefer and Jamal Baldwin, signing off from Bungie Field in Bremen, the Lions win over the Culver Cavaliers 32-28. I'm Jesse Bohannon. Thank you for listening to Bremen Lion Football here on BroadcastSport.net.